extremely excited to see everyone, and welcome to our kitchen, virtual kitchen. And today we will be visiting German kitchen with Raphael.
Yeah.
Raphael has beautiful
yes.
place.
I have my technical genius, Daniel McShane, and he will explain you the little tips for Zoom, and then we'll start.
But he has to turn his mic on.
Yeah, hi everyone, thanks for joining. When Raphael starts cooking, everyone will be muted except Dr. Graham and Raphael. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you have an immediate question, but please try to save any other questions until the end so we can try to keep yourself muted otherwise, and we can reduce any other background noise. You're welcome to use the chat to voice any of your questions that don't need to be answered immediately.
Wow, professional, very cool.
Thank you. Whenever we're ready, we'll start.
Okay. Well, also happy welcome from my side. Yes, we are here in a German kitchen. It's a very small European kitchen, so 13 people is probably the most that this kitchen has ever seen. So I'm quite privileged to see you all and to invite you to a little cook-along in raw. So today we're going to make something that is a little bit more special. That is also something for like special occasions, and maybe sometimes when you just want to bring something to a party where most of the people don't eat the same way raw food people do, who mostly eat just fruits and vegetables fresh. But today we're going to make something that reminds maybe a little bit more of a cake, something that reminds a little bit more of something more lush. So today we are going to make a banana layer cake, and this is what I've prepared here. So we've got ripe bananas. That's what ripe bananas look like. And we've got some apples. These are probably not enough, so I've got one more extra because they're a bit small. And we've got some cinnamon. We're not going to use all of that, don't worry. Some cardamom. We have got some almonds here and some raisins. Yeah. And then we've got here a deep dish, and we're gonna put that in here. So if there are no particular questions about that, we'll just get started. So to get started, of course, make sure that you are properly dressed, that your hair is controlled, and that your hands are washed. And then we'll see if that works here as well. Yeah. Can you see everything?
Looks like we can see it.
Very good. Okay, now let us get started. I would start with soaking the raisins. So I will take the raisins and put them in a dish. Some cinnamon. So we'll take the little pinch of cinnamon, or if you prefer a small spoon, you can maybe take like that much, not really a lot. And you put some cinnamon in there. And then you put water until they're pretty much covered. Now let's see how quick they'll soak. You can mix it either with a spoon or with your fingers, so that the cinnamon gets pretty much everywhere. And we'll put that to the side. Then what we'll do is we'll put out the blender, and we will get the almonds, I will just put them in. You will have to take a quantity that works. So sometimes you might want to do some more, just so that the quantity, yeah, is enough. It doesn't need to be perfectly blended. It's okay if you have some parts in it. It's probably also a bit of personal preference how fine you want it.
Raphael, there's a little bit of confusion as to what's in your blender right now.
This is just almonds. Nothing else. It's just almonds.
Okay.
Okay. This too, I will put into a separate dish. We will use that as soon as we build the cake. Now I have a little spatula, and with that I can make it loose. Yeah.
And you're just as happy to start with almond powder if people prefer to do that?
Sure. The advantage of making it fresh is maybe, yeah, that they're a little bit more moist, and that also the aroma might be a little bit more.
Sure.
But generally, yeah, you can also start with that. Then as a third thing, I would like to prepare the apples, because they also would like a little bit of a soaking. So what we'll do is we will cut up the lemon. And we'll press the lemon.
Are you putting the lemon in with the raisins, or are you putting the apples and lemons separately?
I'm going to put the lemon juice on top of the apple slices that we're gonna produce. And this way
Okay.
the apple is gonna be a little bit more.
Okay.
So that way they can soak a little while we do the cream and the layering. Any of the good stuff here, but if you don't like that, you can leave it.
Ryan, we're making Carob banana pie.
Yes. The advantage of having your ready dish. If you don't, just use another dish where you can make your slices. I made my slices about this thick, but yeah, you can of course vary if you want.
Raphael, did you peel the skin from the apples?
I know that you Americans usually peel your apples quite a lot. I usually don't because I like the taste of the skin and also the nutrients that the skin has. Of course, with apples, maybe more than with other fruits, you will want to have organic apples. And that way you will not have to worry about any kind of adverse chemicals being on there.
With some 8,000 varieties of apples to choose from, are you being particular about this choice or just grabbing apples?
This particular apple is a pink lady. I wrote in the list to be a sweet apple. I think a sweet apple works quite well in a cake application. But of course, there are a variety of apples for sure. Actually, one of my favorite apples so far has definitely been the topaz apple. I don't know if you get that one over in the stateside. One of the things that I noticed quite a lot about this way of making food, and I guess it's obvious when you think about it, but when you cook with or when you make food with whole foods and very simple ingredients, of course you're much more at the...
I'm enjoying the heck out of watching everyone trying to keep up with his tempo. So well done for that. One of the things with whole foods, I'm going to guess, is that it's very difficult to make the same recipe twice. I mean, in my house, they say I can't make the same recipe once, but it's very difficult to make the same recipe twice because one apple is going to be different from another and one tomato is going to be different from the next. And as you know, bananas are all different, every variety, so it depends on what you start with. And even within the variety, they're not all going to taste the same. So the challenge for the chef to justify, if you will, or to proportion properly, sometimes you have to, I have lots of recipes that call for tomatoes, for example, but some tomatoes are waterier than others. And so sometimes I'll have to add dried tomato just to come up with the consistency that I want. And certainly here, starting with whole ingredients, Raphael's doing a as you go along kind of a job. You're going to have to make small adjustments to allow for the amount of fiber, the amount of water, the amount of sweetness, the amount of anything in order for it to come out the way that he had in mind at the start. So we'll see where he goes with that.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back. I think his connection
He's
dropped.
really gone.
Yeah, no, he's definitely left the meeting. So we'll wait for a little bit while we try to regain his connection.
We'll see if he knows. Does he know that he's left the meeting?
That's the thing. I think my mom's gonna call him. He might have not known that he left.
Right. He may not have any idea. You've got a tough job, Daniel.
Yeah, I know.
Well, some of you may have more sensitive tummies than others. I know that for myself, I've made many variations of the dish that Raphael's making today, and some of them are more holiday treat oriented, where you can put almost anything in, and others are, if it's being made for someone who's got digestive concerns, may want to pay attention to the combinations of foods that are used and adjust accordingly. If you use fewer almonds, for instance, you can make this banana almond combination palatable and digestible. Whereas if there's a lot of almonds and a lot of bananas, there's people going to eat it and then suffer afterwards, and we don't want that. We don't want that. So this would be a dish that I would make with sort of an asterisk next to it, saying, you know, if you have digestive weakness, if you have some sort of problem, colitis or something, and since digestive disorders are the most common of all disorders, you have to be careful who your consuming audience is. I was more interested, and I don't know, Larissa, if you're on with me right now, if you would use anything else besides cinnamon, if you would use nutmeg, for instance, or anything of that sort.
For what? I'm actually trying to get in touch with Raphael. I missed the question.
Can't hear you.
Try again. I turned you way up.
She's muted.
No, she's.
Well, it says mute on her.
I am saying that Dr.
There
Graham,
we
I didn't hear your question because I was trying to. Oh, here's Raphael back. Raphael is back. Yes, is he back?
That doesn't get you out of the question.
What was the question? I actually was trying to get in touch with him, so I didn't hear the question.
Oh, I just said, I'm sure you've made similar dishes. Do you ever use nutmeg or any other flavors besides cinnamon? Do you use allspice, or do you use anything else other than just cinnamon?
I like licorice. Yes, I do that. And what else I like? Vanilla. I really like vanilla, and I use regular vanilla beans.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I like? Let me look at.
Okay. So I figured that this is going to be too small here, so I put a bigger dish, but it's still just the apples and the lemon juice, nothing else. Now that we've got that done, we'll also put it to the side to let it soak a little bit. Yeah, that's when the not American style kitchen has its drawbacks. There's not that much room. Okay, now we're gonna do the cream. We're going to do the cream with some of those bananas. I would say we will take 4 bananas to do the cream. Now, these bananas have been ripened to the state of being very sweet. And that's what we're looking for in a cake. We're looking for sweetness. Then we're gonna add the carob. I don't know how many of you have tried carob before. Maybe this is the first time.
I love carob. Hi, Raphael, it's Shari.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, nice to hear you.
You're my tabbouleh man. Woo!
Yeah, tabbouleh man.
This is interesting looking down on you. I love it. It's pretty cool. But Karen,
yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to not embarrass myself with a bit of banana cake, actually.
You're incredible. You're not gonna embarrass yourself. We're gonna wish we could put our hand through the video.
We're either in video heaven or Raphael is in video.
Sorry. Doug's in banana land, that's what I know. Oh, he froze again. I'm gonna turn myself off here then.
Not you, it's him.
Okay. Now we're gonna put in carob. Now, with carob, it depends a little bit how much you want to use. If you like chocolate more of the milk chocolate variety, then you just take 1 spoon. If you prefer more of the dark chocolate varieties, then maybe you're ready for 2 spoons. But don't worry, you can always add later. You cannot take out later. So maybe you just start with 1, and we'll try and we'll taste. And this is my cardamom. So this is what this looks like. You might have seen it in other forms or in other packets, and we will use very little of this. This is just to give a little bit of a taste.
So is yours still in pods?
No, this is already ground up, but within the pods. Yeah, with the pods, not just the seeds, but with the pods completely. And
Okay.
It's the green variety.
Yeah.
So I'm really just putting a pinch of it in there, not terribly much. You can always add later if you really like the taste, but I'm putting in like, yeah, about the same quantity as, even less than the cinnamon before. This is just really minimal. Now, depending on your blender, you might want to add a little bit of water, but be careful, because if you add too much, again, it will be hard to remove later. What we want to have is a very creamy, well blended consistency. So I'm just gonna add a little drop to start with, and we'll see how we go. Okay, so in the blender we have got ripe bananas, the carob, a little bit, like a pinch of cardamom, and a bit of water, not too much water. Okay. Sometimes you want to shake the blender a little bit, as in a better way of making it work without adding water.
Raphael, I love that you can hear me while you're doing all this. Or at least I think you can.
And then go right ahead and take a taste. Yeah, that'll work. It'll taste a little bit more fruity than what you might be expecting from a chocolate, because carob is a little bit more fruity. But yeah, I think that works. So let's get started with the layering.
Hey, Raphael, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have even a clue, perhaps, where your carob came from? Because some years carob is very, very available, and some years it's not. Do you know this Italian carob?
It is actually, it's called Mediterranean carob powder.
Yeah, it's probably from Italy.
Yeah, might be. It even came over Southampton, over Raw Living Limited.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually...
It doesn't say more than just Mediterranean.
And do they say it's raw carob? Because again, some years raw carob is available and some years it is not.
It doesn't say on the package, but it did say on the online shop where I got it from. So
nice.
I was quite pleased with that accolade of being raw.
Just as a tip for other people, I mean, when you find raw carob, buy it, because some years you will find that it is simply not available. Depends on the size of the crop, and with weather changes, crop availability changes as well.
That's interesting. Thanks for that tip. Yeah, I just took it for granted that it was available. Yeah, cool. So we come back with the raisins. Now, actually, I might have put a lot of water in there. Let's see if I can find another dish to pour it off a little bit. We might have the water in handy for later. Yeah. So, and then we will do, actually, that's how I'm going to do it. We're going to take now the cinnamon raisins and maybe take like 2/3 of all the raisins and put them into the deep dish. If there's a little bit of water to come with it, that's okay. Actually, that's more than fine. And we'll keep some actually, we don't need that many, some for the decoration on the top layer. And then we'll take off the almonds. Now here as well, you can choose how much you want to take. You don't have to take the whole thing just because the blender needed it to blend properly. And now you can, we can go ahead and blend that. And basically, if you have like a rough consistency like this, maybe a little bit more. So actually now I'm using maybe half of the cup of almonds, if that. Yeah. And this way we'll get a consistency which is about the same as some what do you call that in English? Some crumbs, you know, like a crummy kind of consistency. Once you've got that, you can go ahead and press that down a little bit, so it's compacted, and it'll do a nice base layer.
I think most Americans might prefer to use crumbly rather than crummy, but I know what you mean.
Fair enough. Yeah, so
that's gorgeous.
That works pretty well already. Yeah. Okay. Let me wash my hands. And now we can start with the first layer of banana layers. And for that purpose, we'll bring on the cutting board. Put that away, we don't need that. Yeah, my kitchen is too small. And we will start with the remaining bananas here.
You are on it, Wendy. Well done.
Oh yeah, I can't see all your nice creations going on at the same time. I hope you're having fun. So I've kept the, maybe that's something. Also, I've kept a little bit more straight the bananas because they're easier to cut. And of course, you can also cut them in the other direction, but I like cutting them lengthwise because that way we will have a nice, a nice look to our little layer cake. And I usually cut 3 layers out of 1 banana because that's usually how it works for me with the knife skills. Might be not a professional, so maybe some other people have better techniques.
It's a great knife skill. Would you ever consider using a mandolin for that?
No, actually, that's a possibility. Yeah. The tools I have for making layers, they are not thick enough to make like a whatever
Right.
4mm, 5mm kind of layer.
Right. Yeah.
So therefore, I guess if you have a better tool for that, of course you will be quicker doing that.
Your knife skills are good.
Thank you. So when you're done with one layer, you can go ahead and pour on one layer of carob. So let's go right ahead with a spatula in hand. And depending on your dish and how much of the cream you've made, you might want to save a little bit or be generous depending on how much you've got. Distribute it a little bit. I guess I'll use a little bit more for that first layer. Now we're just layering it up. So basically cream and bananas. And there we go with another layer. Now, of course, as well, depending on your dish, you can make a higher cake or a lower cake. And also depending on how you chose the quantity of your ingredients, you might be able to do a bigger cake than mine here. Oh, there we go. I think I'll take one of my backup bananas. Sorry for cheating. So this is banana number 8. And we'll go ahead with that just to complete it here. So for me, that'll be the last layer. I'll pour on now the rest of the cream. It is interesting when you work with banana and with the combination of some ingredients, it actually thickens on its own quite a lot. Not this time around. The last time it really thickened on me was when I put quite a lot of spearmint together with banana and also carob at that time. And it actually turned out to be almost like a mousse au chocolat because it gelated so much, which was quite cool. But also with this kind of cake, if you really want it a little bit more solid, you can do this like on the day before you want to use it and just put it in the fridge.
Raphael, when we're gonna use apples? On top, or what is the plan?
Yes, the apples go on top.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get all the goodness here. And put it, actually mine turned out quite liquid. But that's okay. That's why we got the deep dish. How are you doing, Larissa? How liquid is yours? Does it work with the plate?
Mine are very good. I didn't add much water.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that sure helps. And now we can put on the apples. Let's see if I've made enough apples. I think I did. Yeah, of course you can do your own little pattern, whatever you like. The cool thing with raw food is that usually you've got the best kind of colors going, so you can also have some fun. You can have some fun with green, with red, in this case even brown. Yeah.
Everybody keeping up just well. Your tempo is excellent.
Very nice.
Looks like he's lagging a bit.
Well, probably yours.
There you go. There you go. You're back.
Oh, I was gone. I'm sorry.
Just for like probably 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. All I said is that cinnamon really smells really nice, and I actually quite enjoy smelling my cinnamon raisins, as you do probably. Here as well. Actually, I've saved quite a lot. And I'll just snack the rest. And if you're so inclined, why not sprinkle a little bit of almond on there just for optics. And there we go. It's all done. If you want it more solid, put it in the fridge overnight. But if you're hungry like me, you just go ahead and eat it.
You should take your own picture of it.
I'm going to do a screenshot.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
If you leave it there, let me do a screenshot. Command Shift 3. Another one. Back up a little bit.
Can I get like some sent to me?
Very nice. Nice.
Oh, how did you do that?
Beautiful. Bravo.
Delicious.
Command Shift and something.
What?
Maybe
we can. The video is going to be recorded. The entire class is going to be recorded, so like I can specifically take pictures and upload them somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's enjoy some cake together, shall we?
Yes.
I want to see how you get that out.
So I'm going to get myself a little plate.
You guys are welcome to unmute yourselves now.
Yeah, do you have any particular questions before we gorge ourselves, basically?
As everyone else's done, it'd be fun to see theirs.
This is delicious.
Yes, let's see yours, please.
Let's see.
I'll show you mine. You show me yours.
Ah,
So where's Wendy? Tatiana, where are you from?
Whoa,
let's see.
Gabrielle, that's gorgeous.
Oh, I can't see it. Oh, Tatiana, nice.
I cut my apple.
nice.
Wendy, nice. All right, let me see. Oh, Gabrielle's is, wow, that's a lot. Yum, yum.
Wendy looks good. Wow.
Yeah, it all looks great.
Mary, that's
Hi,
superb.
Larissa.
How does it taste, Tatiana? Is it any
Yum.
good?
Eat it.
That's predetermined.
Yum.
Wow.
Bravo.
Wendy looks happy.
It's wonderful. Oh my gosh. It's wonderful.
So good.
So good.
Yeah, well, you gotta love your apples and your bananas.
I would have a question.
Yes.
Do you all know tiger nuts? And maybe to Graham, do you use them every now and then?
I almost never use them, but I am familiar with them.
Because I once
Tiger
tried to
nuts?
have a fat-free cake,
Yes.
and then I used the tiger nuts with the almonds to blend up for a bottom layer, and so I had not so much fat, and you have a special bite on it. It is a bit yeah, it's not so.
You'll find is with every nut, each one has its own unique flavor. You know, each one has its own unique flavor, and you can use. There are things where I particularly prefer macadamia. There's things where I particularly prefer almonds. And
Yeah, but these tiger nuts are not as fat as the others.
There's a lot of background noise.
yeah, the not as fat is not a huge difference. The amount of fat from one nut to another varies, but not a lot. Although you may find, you know, that the tiger nut is a little less fatty, the macadamia or the pine nut is a little more fatty. And we can discern the difference with our, you know, our taste buds tell us. But well, not even our taste buds so much as our sense of feel, what's called mouth feel, tells you whether it's oily.
Yeah.
It's only a very small number of percentage points, though. It's not a huge
No, well, the tiger nuts are no nuts. They are in the ground. They are no nuts.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. At that point, you run into other issues because, you know, when you start to get into a more carbohydrate-based nut feel, it's sort of the same with a peanut or a coconut. They're not really in the same category with nuts, and so they lowering the fat isn't our only concern. So if you wish to do that, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
But sometimes if I want to have less fat, I'll just use fewer nuts. Right?
Yes, sure. But just I thought, I for myself, I found it together with the sweet.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It turns out to be a bit more easier digested.
If it's working for you, by all means, work it. Use it for sure. I tried them.
Raphael, it's absolutely delicious.
Raphael is superb.
Superb, yes.
Fantastic.
Really good presentation. You took your time.
That we can
Everybody
let you
took step
taste,
by
Graham.
step. Everybody ended up with something like what you ended up with.
I hope so. I hope you like your creations.
Well, I think that's the awesomeness of the whole thing, that you can put your creativity, your own favorite ingredients, and come up with your own personal recipe for that.
My fussy husband just went,
My husband tried it and he thought, is this pudding? I said, this is better. This is pudding. without the crap in the pudding.
This is wonderful, Raphael. It's a big
This is
hit.
wonderful.
I love it.
I used dark chocolate powder, and I cut my apples up to smaller. And it's delicious.
Ooh, chocolate. Yeah, I couldn't find carob. I'll look for it. I want to try it with the carob. But
I'm a bad girl.
Well, I used 100% Ghirardelli cocoa. I used this.
Yes, that's great stuff.
100% cocoa. Because
Yes.
I couldn't find the carob, so I kind of substituted it out. But it's excellent. It tastes great. I would make it again. It's great.
So good.
So I can tell you guys that Raphael saved this meeting last moment because his router actually broke yesterday. And we're lucky to have this event because of his city. That's why the connection a little bit off. But
Yeah, sorry.
we still made it.
This is awesome.
Excellent.
So good.
Impressive.
Dr. Graham, I'm sorry, you have your banana plain.
I was very happy with my bananas. Not having access to almonds, apples, raisins, or cinnamon at the moment. I had apples, I had bananas.
The cardamom.
Oh yeah, I didn't have access to cardamom, didn't have access to carob. But other than that,
So good.
I was close. Bananas were very good.
If I mute you, it's nothing personal. It's just because you're echoing.
How long will this last if I put it in the refrigerator?
In my experience, maybe 5 days, maybe a week.
Wow.
Usually it doesn't last as long as you want it to last, you know.
All right.
It's not going to last for
A day, huh? Okay.
Yeah. I once brought this with me to work for an extravagant lunch because I wanted to show off to my colleagues who all eat normal standard German diet in that respect. But I left them a little bit to taste, and they were quite enthralled. So they were quite jealous of my cake, which I like.
Yum.
Wow, scraping down to the plate. Well done.
I ate it with my fingers.
I think that's the best compliment, Raphael.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. So what's next week, Raphael? I want to send you some money.
Next week, Raphael.
Well, we planning actually several dishes, and our website is almost done. You're welcome to watch the updates on Let's Cook Raw. We'll definitely make a decision shortly what's happening next week. I think it's Mother's Day weekend, and hopefully we can do a little surprise.
Oh, how
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
yes.
Yes, if not, it will be the following week, but we'll do our best.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome,
Oh,
Mary.
awesome.
Thank you being in the beginning of this.
Oh,
You have somebody for Mother's Day?
we want Raphael.
All right. All right, Raphael,
I
get ready.
appreciate that.
Get ready for Mother's Day dinner.
Right.
I'll sure think of something. I'm always more creative than time allows. But yeah, sure.
Or
Why not?
dessert.
Or dessert, yeah.
And you can have dessert for Mother's Day all day.
Uh-huh.
Sure, why
Well,
not?
we've already done dessert today, you know.
But that was just a practice.
Ah.
Want some more?
Then banana and raisins combination is unbelievable.
Yes. And I love the lemon in there with the apple too.
Well, Dr. Graham is not approving the lemon, but we sneak it in.
No,
That's
the
all right.
lemon, I wasn't having a problem with the lemon. The lemon was used to keep the apples white and fresh.
Yes.
It wasn't a lot of lemon particularly.
Oh, good.
Hey, Mom.
Yes.
Connect, that's Facebook, or G Connect, it looks like a
Come again?
Sveta, you were trying to say something, you muted.
That's Shri.
That was Shri?
I think so.
We're taking turns because
Shari. That was Shari?
I mean, it looks like she's on a phone call.
I have Brian. I don't have Shri.
Yeah.
I think somebody said Shari is there. Somebody said Mom.
Yeah, I know, she's on the phone.
All right, guys.
Christine,
Go ahead, Dr. Graham.
Yeah, I would call this an unmitigated and an unqualified success. You did a
Yes.
great job. It's tough. I mean, when you consider the technology being used to film in your kitchen, really good job. I would just say really good job. I hope everybody else felt the same way.
Yes. I love the
thank you.
cardamom.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, send us
I do
some
too.
new comments so Raphael can read them and be remembering this event.
Okay.
Where are we putting the comments?
And also,
Thank you so much.
if we can improve anything, your suggestions. I mean, connection, we have no control of it, and I think Raphael did an awesome job to be able to come back without his router working.
Yes.
That we know, but if there's anything else we can improve, let us know. We'll do the best.
Your
Sharon,
website looks beautiful so far.
the question was, where do you put the comments? And you just go right to the website, which
Okay.
Daniel had listed for us. So if you just go right to letscookraw.com.
Yes, you can send contact us. Again, the website in the process of being created.
It looks beautiful though. So far, so good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be able to accommodate live comments there under each chef's creation. We'll put the recorded videos there so you'll have more resources. Also, feel free to read some of them questions. Dr. Graham beautifully answered some of them, my 5 questions. And we'll have more raw vegan, world-renowned raw vegan experts answering the questions. So you can submit the questions, you can post comments, you can do suggestions. And I mean, thank you to the chefs is always welcome because they work so hard to prepare them, to get ready, to make sure that everything is working for you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Marisa. Thank you, Raphael, and everybody.
Thank you.
And this was great. We're all
Excellent.
Yeah, wish you happy repeating.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Everybody enjoy.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.
See you next time.
So
Happy
awesome to
Christmas
see
Day.
you.
Bye.